Hi everyone, how you doing? Dr. Mark Costas here, founder of the Horizon Schools of Dental Assisting and the Dental Success Institute. And today I wanted to take you through just the guts of our dental assisting school curriculum. One of the most common questions we get is really what comes with the curriculum? Is it all inclusive? Do I have to create any of the content on my own? How about licensing? What kind of licensing documents and what kind of licensing procedure goes along with that? How about labs and lectures and what comes as far as teaching aids and DVDs? I'm going to go over all that today with you. Really quick, I'm going to take you through the actual curriculum. It is a 6-volume curriculum, and I'm going to start by going over volume number 1. That is right here. It's called Supporting Documents and Licensing. Okay, so I'm just going to take a second and read you through the table of contents, just so you're aware of all the things that come in volume number 1. So first there's an introduction, and then there's a quick start checklist. So you're going to get a large volume of information. We are going to tell you exactly in what order to utilize this information so you don't get lost in the sheer volume of the stuff. Okay, so it's going to make perfect sense, and we're going to talk you through step by step exactly what you need to do to get the school up and running. So quick start checklist is number 1. All the program information and course of study. The list of classes. And then we go on to section 4, the annual projected profit and loss statement. So you can literally figure out, depending on how many students you have per session, how much money you're going to net at the end of each session. And typically it's a 13-week session. We can customize it down to a 10-week session if you prefer that, but we usually do 13 weeks, and we can get 4 total sessions per year for each individual school owner. Okay, so whatever your net profit is for one session, you can annualize that by multiplying that by 4. And we have all of the formulas in order to do that. We have projected profit and loss. We have a catalog that is mandatory by most of the state boards of post-secondary education, which are the state boards that are going to be in charge of either granting you a license or not in your particular state. We have the licensing state approval agency's contact information. We are actually going to contact the state licensing agencies for you, but we give you this just in case as as the basic contact information, unless you need to reach them personally. We have the enrollment agreement. We have the externship program and invitation letter, which is a letter that you can have the students send out to other dentists in the area asking if they can volunteer at their office and getting their hours. Because in our program, it is mandatory for the students to have a 50-hour internship at a practicing dental office. We allow them, at my particular school, we allow them to get a fair number of their hours at our dental office. But if you don't want to do that, you can just have them send out this letter to the other dentists in the area, and they can typically get their 50 hours pretty easily at different dental offices in the area. Okay, we have the transcript. We have procedures and calculating grades for the transcript. We have the certificate of completion, the daily attendance sheet, test grade log, lab test log, quizzes, and master student registration list. We also have the bibliography, so if you guys want to look up any further information on any of the lectures that we have, you'll be able to do that. We also have CDs and DVDs. Those are the teaching aids that we'll speak about a little bit later in the further volumes. Okay, so that's volume 1. Volume 2 is the lecture volume. Okay, so basically you can see that each lecture is tabbed, lecture 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through lecture number 24. There's a different lecture every night of class, and the way we do it is we hold classes on Tuesday and Thursday nights from 5 to 8 p.m. Some dentists that also use my curriculum will teach, say, 6 hours on a Saturday instead, or they could be closed on a Wednesday, so they'll teach their classes 6 hours on a Wednesday, or 6 hours on a Friday if they're closed on Fridays. I like to break it up because it's a lot of information for the students to do it all at one time, so we do it Tuesday and Thursday nights, and I'm not there. I usually teach about 45 minutes on one of the nights because I enjoy teaching, but my dental assistants and lead instructors basically take the entire thing and run with it. Okay, so basically, if I take any random lecture, I'll show you exactly what they look like. This lecture is called The Human Dentition. It's lecture number 4. So you can see, or not see, there are some highlighted areas with underlines, okay? So as you're giving the lecture, the students also have the same version of the lecture in front of them, but the areas that are highlighted and underlined on the master lecture notes are blank on the student lecture notes. So rather than having to reinvent the wheel and having to give a lecture on a blank piece of paper to the students who would be madly writing just trying to keep up, we keep them engaged by making sure that they have to follow along and fill in the blanks as we're doing the lecture. Okay, so for instance, this says types of teeth, Roman numeral 1, types of teeth. Humans are omnivorous, which means they eat both plants and animals. To accommodate the specialized diet, human teeth are designed for shearing, that's underlined, and incising, that's underlined, as well as grinding. So we know by looking at our lecture notes which areas in their lecture notes are the blanks. So we can spend a little bit more time, we can help them spell that, we can slow down and make sure that we're not burning through that portion of the lecture and allow them to fill in the blanks as they're writing. So that's exactly how we do all of the lectures. Lecture 1 through 24, all on different topics from you know, human anatomy all the way through removable prosthodontics and oral surgery, all included in volume 2 here. Okay? Okay, so volume number 3. Volume number 3 is actually student lecture notes. And like I was talking about before in volume 2, these student lecture notes have different blanks. Okay, so in the doctor's lecture notes, the areas that were bolded and underlined are now blank in the student lecture notes. So when the students come to an area that's blank, they wait for the prompt of the instructor to tell them what to put into that blank, and that's how they will follow along in the lectures. And that keeps the lectures moving along really nicely, nice and quick. You don't have to wait for them to write, you know, Roman numeral 1 and the entire line. They just fill in the blanks. It keeps the lectures moving on nicely, and it really allows pretty much anybody to be able to deliver the lectures. Not just the doctor, but also, you know, the dental assistant. They can give the lectures because basically all they're doing is helping the students to fill in the blanks. But you should know also that in addition to the live lectures, what I have done is I had my dental assistants literally videotape each and every one of my lectures. I taught one full session all the way through, delivered all the lectures on my own in the waiting room, which is our classroom of the office, and they literally just took a little handy cam and they videotaped me giving the lectures. And what they do now is, and we burn them onto CDs, so what they do now is during the lecture period they just wheel out our big screen TV, which is on a cart, and they just press play for that particular lecture. The students all sit around the big screen TV with their notebooks and their notes, and as they're watching me on TV, I'm giving the lecture and they're filling in the blanks. Okay, so that is exactly how a dentist could get away with literally not even showing up at all for their dental assisting school. Okay, so the first hour is with the doctor or the television, while they're giving the first hour of lecture, and the last 2 hours of each session are in the back office doing instrument transfer and lab work with the dental assistants. Okay, so I hope that makes perfect sense to y'all. Okay, volume 4 is lab sessions. The lab sessions is where your specialized dental assistants and lead instructors, it could be a hygienist, it could be a dental assistant, it could be an office manager. This is where they will take the students after the lecture and into the back, and they will actually have hands-on practice on, you know, suction tip position, instrument transfer, putting trays together, sterilizing a room, working in the sterilization area, doing alginate impressions, doing sealants, pouring up casts, that sort of thing. All of that is all in here in the lab sessions. And in addition to you know, the actual lab session work, it tells what needs to be done, how to break up into pairs. There's also lab tests each and every session that you can administer to make sure that they're all keeping up and doing their self-study. Okay? Okay, so our next volume is volume number 5. That's tests and quizzes, and we have all the tests and quizzes pre-written for you with all the keys that are available. We make sure that after the students look at their graded tests and quizzes, that they hand them back to us so that they don't hand the tests and quizzes on to the next session. The way we do it is on Tuesday nights, day 1, we give our exams, and on Thursday nights we give our quizzes. And every single meeting they have a lab test. So say Tuesday, for instance, would be the test covering the lectures from Tuesday and Thursday of the previous week, and then the quiz on Thursday would be from the lecture on Tuesday. Okay, so tests on Tuesdays, quizzes on Thursdays. You can set it up any way you want, but the bottom line is that all of the tests and quizzes are furnished for you, easy to grade, easy to administer, and piece of cake that way. All right. And finally, the most important part of the entire thing is volume 6, which is our A to Z marketing guide. Now, I've done a whole video based on what is inside this A to Z marketing guide. But basically, the way that the A to Z marketing guide works is it gives lead generation types of marketing pieces, Facebook ads, radio ads, print ads, direct mail, postcards, full page inserts that get prospective students interested enough to request a free information package. In return for the request for the information package, we gather their contact information, and we're able to market to them over and over and over again. And like I was saying in previous videos, oftentimes it's 6 months to a year before they decide to become a student. So if you keep them in that marketing sequence over and over and over again, marketing to them gently without being overly salesy, you know, it could be a year and a half, 2 years even, down the road of getting these emails from you on the automatic autoresponder, which we'll show you how to set up, and they might decide to be a student that much later. Okay. In addition to that, you also get your own website, which our web guy will set up for you and customize with your contact information, the address of your school, the telephone number of your school, your own personal URL that you will select yourself. And I mean, we even go as far as to give you stock photos of some of my past classes that you can use in your marketing pieces until you get photos of your own classes and get things up and running for yourself. So that's our entire curriculum in a nutshell. You can see that this spent years to put together. We did not miss any details, and we have excellent customer support in addition to that. So that's about all I have for you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to email or call our office anytime, and we will have a staff member or myself call you back immediately. So thank you very much, and have a great day.